Margavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Arika Galadirthan, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome to the Divide and Conquer 1.2 installation video. Now, this one is different, only slightly, but it's different, and I implore you to pay attention. So, in order to get version 1.2, you need the following: Medieval 2 Total War, Medieval 2 Total War The Kingdoms expansion pack, Third Age Total War 3.2, there's an installation video for that on my channel you can see, and Divide and Conquer version 1. Only version 1. If you've got 1.1 or 1.01, that doesn't matter, that's fine as well. But minimum, you need version 1, which is the 3 other downloadable parts you'll find on ModDB. Link is in the description. So, once you've got all 3 of those things, so Medieval 2 Kingdoms, Third Age Total War 3.2, and DAC version 1, you can install 1.2. Now, you can find 1.2 on ModDB and MediaFire, both downloadable locations, and you need to download it. Now, when you download it, don't use your computer. You see how I have nothing running, absolutely nothing running. That's what you want, nothing running. Download it from ModDB or MediaFire, pop it wherever you like, and then once you've got it downloaded, you need to right-click on it and run as administrator. Now, as usual, it will take a little while to go through it, and Windows will just check it's all okay, and it doesn't take too long, so here we are. Accept your agreement and move on. Now, it then tells you exactly what you need to do, so listen to me and also have a read of that if you are still unsure. Now, as I said, this one works slightly differently. But first of all, allow me to just say that once you get to this stage, if you have not moved your Steam library, and if you have got the Steam version, then you don't need to do anything, just click next, you're fine. However, if you have the physical disc version of Medieval 2 Kingdoms, or you have partitioned your Steam library so one part is on a secondary hard drive as opposed to the computer's base hard drive, or SSD, then you will need to edit your location. However, if you've just got standard Steam, you've not moved it, you've not done anything, and you've got it on Steam, you can just click next. But for everyone else, so the disk version, and if you've moved Steam, you're going to have to click Browse. Now, what you're going to need to do in the Browse is find where you've installed it. Now, for me, it's in C Steam, and then I open Steam, and I go to Steam Apps, Common, Medieval 2, and Mods. And then that is where you now stop. Click OK. The default path should then look like that. It needs to end Third Age 3. No data. There is no data file involved this time. It just needs to end Third Age 3, and that's it. Now, as I said, the easiest way to change this is if you have renamed your Third Age file. For example, I have. My Third Age is called DAC, not Third Age 3, then you can just type it in there. But as long as this last bit is essentially the holding file of the whole mod, so it's mods Third Age something, and you're right. But you don't need to click the data folder. Okay, that's the only difference. It's a slight difference, and it's a difference, and you must follow it. Then you can click next, and it will say this, and of course you want to say yes. If it doesn't give you this option, something's gone wrong, or you've got ultimate control of your files, and then that's pretty good. But 9 times out of 10, it means something's gone wrong. So if you get this file, then you're on track, because you're overwriting the older stuff that we've given you from DAC. This is new stuff, it's overwriting files, you have to give it permission. Just click yes. Then click install. And that's it. Now, there is an additional step when we get to the end, and it only takes about 10 seconds or something. I don't know. I think it was about 20 seconds, actually. It doesn't take very long. So I won't skip along with this bit, but you can feel free to click along. But there's an additional step now that I want everyone to do at the end, just to ensure that the installation has gone okay. And we will get to that as soon as this rattles through. This will take longer if your computer is not as powerful. It will take longer if you've not run it as administrator. You absolutely must run as administrator. I cannot stress that enough. I really can't. Please run as administrator. If you've not run as administrator, and that's going to be one of the first questions I ask you if you come to me with a problem. And if you haven't run as administrator, I'm not even going to listen to your problem, I'm afraid. Especially if your comment is on this video. If you've commented on this video and you've not followed the steps of it, I am not going to have any time for you. I apologise, I'll be blunt about it, but there it is. The video is going to be, what, 5 minutes long? Something like that. Anyway, this is now the final stage. I've written it here in as clear as day. Please now head to the third H3 directory and run the file Steam Friendly Cleaner. So you're right, okay. So where you now know that you've installed Third Age, find it. So I'll go through how many of you will have to get there, I suppose. Go to any sort of file, and then go to where you will have installed it. So local disk C, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Medieval 2, Mods, Third Age DAC. And in here is a file called Steam Friendly Cleaner. Now yours will probably be called Third Age 3, but whatever, Steam Friendly Cleaner. Now even if you have the Steam version, you've not moved it, you didn't have to browse to where to install this, you still need to run the cleaner. So all you have to do is double click that, press any. Now it's telling me that it can't find anything because the installer's actually worked. So because the installer for me has deleted all the files, they're not there, so this can't delete them anyway, but I can still press continue. But for me it doesn't do anything because the installer works. And if you run as administrator as well, then the installer would have worked for you too. So that's the thing. I need you all to go in and run that cleaner just to make sure that all the files have been deleted. But if you ran the installer as administrator, the files would have been deleted anyway. It's just a secondary precaution because a lot of people are moaning about it. As you'll see in the bottom left, it says 1.2. That's a first giveaway that you're in 1.2. Another good test, because it will check whether or not the text files have worked, is to go to the single player, go to the Third Age campaign, and click on Rohan, and double check that it says Theodred and not Éomer. That's another test that it's done. And then if we use, I don't know, Bree, they're a good one to test. We'll test by, this is just how you test that it's working. So I've clicked start, it's now loading up the campaign, that's the next test that it's worked okay. And then the final one is when it goes into the campaign, do you get any kind of messages? Now, of course, I'm just running through how you check that the game works now. If you know that the games work, then obviously you don't need to watch anymore. I'm not going to say anything else. This is just purely checking the game works and to show you what Bree looks like. So this is another test, and this is the final test. In the campaign, when you get into the campaign, do you get either 2 or 3 messages? Ideally, you should get 3. The first one is this new message that tells you a load of things about DAC and Third Age so that you will basically stop asking me about them. The next one tells you a little bit about your faction, and the final one tells you that the barracks event won't kick in for 10 years or whatever it says. I can never remember. But it tells you to wait. 15 years, there you go. There are 4 turns per year, 60 turns, you've got to wait. And then finally, there you go, there's the new Bree Town model. And that's that. That's how you get it installed. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navarre den Pedimad Melonin, and farewell.